Yeah, yeah, no, you guys have definitely done a real good job, and I think people are really going to be excited with the online stuff, especially, again, like you said, the first-person shooters, being able to play, you know, capture flag or tag or stuff like that.
It's really opened it up. It solves also, in some of the modes, it solves the problem, the classical problem that you can get with online driving games, racing games especially. You know, they crash on the first bend,
yeah.
and then, you know, all of your friends are away, all the guys you're chasing are away, and you're sort of left there, and it's basically the end of your experience in some games. But, you know, with a shift, depending on the type of game, of course, you know, there's people grabbing cars, some of the classic cars we have in here. We've, as I said, 130 licensed cars. We've approached the cars from the point of view of how iconic they are. And that means a car that is, you know, it doesn't always have to be an exotic car. We've got realistic cars to make the city look just, you know, a very realistic view of a city. Some classical cars there, Pontiac Le Mans over there. And if you can think of a TV or movie car chase, then the chances are that that car is in the game as well.
Now, you mentioned city earlier. This is a pretty realistic depiction of San Francisco.
It is 210 miles of road, so it's pretty big. What we do, however, is we take the major areas. If you just go into shift, actually, and come up, we can see, go all the way up here. And you can see, this is down, if we spin the camera around, go all the way up, and then spin the camera, spin it around like that. Yeah, that's it. So we can see downtown here in Presidio here, Sutro down in the south, Marin County up in the north across the Golden Gate there, the East Bay Bridge, skim down Oakland. You know, it's wow. So the layout is kind of roughly similar, but obviously if you looked at a real map of San Francisco, it's not an exact representation, it's just the key areas. But we do that for playability reasons. So, you know, we've been doing city-based driving games for many, many years, and one of the things it's taught us is if you try and do an accurate, super accurate representation, it kind of robs it of some of the playability, because you don't want to drive for, you know, hours to get from one area to the next.
Yeah,
area.
no.
You could use shift, but even so, it just we like to take the key areas and push them together.
Nice. Now, you started Reflection, am I correct?
Co-founded it. Yeah,
co-founded
in 1984.
Nice. So is it nice to be back on this game as a creative director?
Yeah, it's great because, you know, the Driver 1 was born out of a childhood obsession with car chases, and in fact the Walter Hill movie, The Driver, with Ryan O'Neal, one of the greatest car chases of all time, actually. That was a movie that was the first movie I remember going to see at the cinema with my parents when I was tiny. And, you know, not that I ever thought I would make video games based on car chases, but, you know, I was fascinated by them. The first time we got a VHS recorder, my dad brought it back from work one day. I was recording car chases off TV, doing the slow motion, backwards a frame, forwards a frame, looking at all the crashes, just, you know, a bit of a sad obsession with them, really. But anyway, this got me into wanting to create games like this. So when the opportunity came to come back onto Driver as the creative director, you know, it was a kind of a childhood thing to do. And also with Ubisoft, it was great that I was totally convinced they wanted to bring the game back in a really big way, you know, not to just do it. I wouldn't have been interested in just a quick sort of iteration.
Right.
I wanted to bring it back in a really big way. And, you know, Ubisoft is all about quality, as you can see from everything that they do, the bigger franchises. And it just meant that we could spend the time, really do it properly, really do it justice.
Now, one cool thing I learned is, unlike you guys kind of went against the trend, there's no worry about DLC. Everything is in there when you get it.
Well, actually, this is one of the things we did with the time, the extra time that we had, the extra year. We had, you know, the potential for doing various DLC add-ons, and actually what we did was we used the time to take that DLC stuff that was planned as DLC and just incorporate it right into the game. So you buy the game and you have everything.
Wow. That's what I'm talking about. Give me all of it right now, so when I get home I can just play.
The whole thing is there.
The cars, man. You know, again,
not to use the boost so much because it's shakeable.
I remember there being a bunch of muscle cars before, but there's a wide variety right now.
There is. There's all sorts of things. I mean, it's been great when you show this game to the US journalists, especially because a lot of the cars in there. There's more US cars in there than European and so on. And they're like, oh, my dad used to have one of those.
There's a good old Camaro right there.
GT44 there.
Oh, and a good old Dodge Neon. There you go.
Chevrolet Camaro just went past there. And the great thing is, actually, this is just a demo, but in the final game, we take the whole 130 cars and we sort of drip feed them into the city, so you get that realistic feeling of having, maybe driven for 20 minutes, and you'll see a, whatever car, and it's like, I haven't seen that car yet, and so you use the shift and grab it, and then you might not see that car again for another 30 minutes or an hour of gameplay. So we avoid that classic thing that you sometimes get with city-based driving games, where it's all Lamborghinis, and then it's all Porsches, and then it's all the old cars, so we've got a pretty realistic approach to it.
Now these cars that only come by every so often, is there a way to grab these and maybe park them somewhere and hold on to them?
Yes, you can, as you play through the story side of the game, and also the other activities actually, you earn a currency. It's called willpower because of the story. But this willpower allows you to buy garages in the city and also to purchase cars and store them. So you can come across any of these cars anytime you're playing. But if I want to be in that particular car right now for a particular challenge or race or whatever, then if I purchase that car, then I can get right in there.
Ah, good. So yeah, we okay on time? Awesome. I'm pretty stoked. I've actually, we were just talking outside, me and some of the other guys, and they were like, give me your best non-sports game of E3 so far that I liked. And this is taking it over for me. Just because I like the driver's game, but I'm not a big race guy.
Yeah, well,
and this is very fun.
It's for two reasons, I think. First of all, it's the way the cars feel. It's just very, very good fun.
Yeah.
And they have a nice feel to them. And secondly, the shift, especially multiplayer, that is what you were playing, then, it's such a blast.
Yeah, yeah. And then the team, there was like the team race, and they were explaining to me that you actually have two cars that you end up controlling.
Yeah, I'll just show you a little bit of that now. This is something that really takes advantage of the shift.
Right.
It's a new feature here, which is part of the upgrades. It's called Rapid Shift. And what it allows you to do is to have a team. So that team can be a race team, or it could equally be a bunch of cops in a chase. And you can use the Rapid Shift to shift between the cops or the racers in that team. So we've got a race going here, and the aim of this particular race is a team of two guys, and you have to get the cars over the finish line, not just first, but first and second. Yeah, so let's get into this. We've got a GTR that we're in here. And you see my teammate up ahead here. I'm going to overtake him and go chasing after the red guys here. I can take a little shortcut.
Cut to the old courtyard.
Cut them off at the pass. If I press the rapid shift, it takes me back to the other teammate. So now I'm chasing. I'll pass him again. Whoops. Catch up a bit, and then rapid shift again back into the car behind. So I'm sort of actively trying to maneuver myself and the teammate. These guys are still in the lead. Okay, let's see how the other teammate's doing. Just behind him, actually. And you can do other stuff in shift. You can try, take out. Let's go a bit further up here. You can try and take him out. I mean, it sounds like it's easy, but it's not easy.
No, that's one thing I found out quick.
Yeah.
It's not easy just to shift around.
No, I mean, we had a few people saying, isn't that just a cheat? Well,
no, try it.
Whoops. So yeah, I mean, this is the way it works, basically.
Well, cool, guys.
I love this horn. Get on the horn. Get the pedestrians out of the way.
Step up. Well, Martin, Jared, I appreciate you guys stopping by. I'm endorsing this game big time, man, as my game to play when I'm not on my sports games. So thank you again, man.
No problem. Cheers.
Thank you, Jared.
Thank you.
And looks like we're going back upstairs. Who is it? Stephen Larson. Take it away.